Hi guys, back again with our flipped math lesson, like a cartwheel. Moving right along into chapter 4, we are now going to be looking at multiplying decimals, two numbers that have decimals in them. So as the little note off in the corner says, that little speech bubble, find yourself two colored pencils. When I say two colored pencils, I really like to see these colored pencils be contrasting colors. Or even colors that you know will mix well when you do some shading. So in my case, I'm going to use these two colors right here, a blue and a red, because they contrast really well and I'll be able to see the differences in them. If you have a yellow and a blue, that would be great, because as they mix, as they intermingle, you will find yourself with a green color, of course. So it would be great for you to help out, to be able to see that clearly. So correct me if I'm wrong. For our this morning, I gave you a piece of paper that had grid lines on it like this that made 10 by 10 boxes. We're going to be using these 10 by 10 boxes to help us solve these multiplication problems. The first problem that I'm going to solve today is this 3/10 times 6/10. Awesome, so as you can see here, I have 3/10 times 6/10. So obviously we can solve this using standard algorithm, and I know that you can do that and bump it to place values, but I want you to see the method behind it, why it equals a smaller number. Okay, so let's look at this. So I'm going to take one of my colors, and each of my colors is going to represent a different number. So in my case, I'm going to make my blue pen represent my 3/10, and my red pen is going to be representing my 6/10. Now we're going to look at this like a grid. Think back to when we first started multiplication, and we have that multiplication chart in the front of our agenda, where we crossed over and up, and that gave us the answer. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to be doing a similar process to this. One's going to be going over and one's going to be going up. Or we could say one's going to be going from left to right or horizontally, and the other one's going to be going up and down or vertically. So I'm going to start with my 3/10. It doesn't really matter because the commutative property tells me that I can multiply in any order. But for me, I just like following the order that it's given, so I'm going to go with my 3/10, and I'm going to go horizontally. Again, horizontally is left to right, side to side, and I'm going to shade in 3/10. Hopefully we can agree that that is 3/10 filled in. I know I didn't fill it in all the way, but I filled it in enough that you should be able to get the gist. Now going in the opposite direction, perpendicular to those blue horizontal lines, I'm going to take my red pen and I'm going to fill in 6/10 going vertically, up and down. So your grid paper should look like this. I have 3 rows filled in going horizontally and 6 rows filled in or shaded in going vertically up and down. Now in order to get the product of this answer, I am going to count how many of these hundredths blocks are shaded in with both blue and red. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to count them one by one, counting each one that has both blue and red in it. So I can see I have 1, 2, 3, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of these have have both blue and red colored in. So I have 18 hundredths colored in with both blue and red. And that, my dear friends, is our product. I can check it by saying 6 times 3 is 18, and then counting up the number of digits that are behind my decimal place and making sure that I have that number behind my product's decimal as well. And you can see that those two answers match up perfectly. Let's try some more, shall we? Let's look at this problem. 1 4/10 times 5/10. We're going to follow the same idea with our two colored pencils. I'm going to make my 1 4/10 represented by my blue and my 5/10 represented in red. Now I am going to fill in 1 4/10 going up and down. I'm going to do this because I know 1 4/10 is more than one whole, so I need to go this way to be able to fill in more than one whole thing, one whole grid. So I'm going to fill in one whole, which means this whole grid is going to be shaded blue. And then on my next one, I'm going to do another 4/10. Perfect. Then I'm going to take my contrasting color and I'm going to go in the perpendicular direction and color in or shade in 5/10. Notice I have to go all the way to the next one too though. Do not forget about going to that next grid. So there we have it. Vertically I have shaded in 1 4/10, and horizontally I have shaded in 5/10. Now just as I did on my previous problem, I'm going to count the number of squares in my grid that are shaded in with both red and blue. Now I know this whole line is 10, so I'm just going to count these by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 40, 56. But 56 what? Oh, each one of those is representative of a hundredth. So I need to have 56 hundredths. Ta-da! Let's try one more problem for good practice. So my problem that I have here represented is 1 2/10 times 7/10. What I would suggest that you do at this time is to pause the video and solve the problem yourself independently, using your two colored pencils, and see if you're able to get an answer that matches my answer. This will help you make the decision on where you fall on our learning scale, whether you are 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. If you're able to successfully solve this problem, I would say that you are a 3 if you're able to do so independently on your own. If you still need some assistance, please feel free to continue working and working it out with me, but on a learning scale I would give you a 2 at that point, and you still need some assistance. So let's go through this and let's see how we do. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to make my 1 2/10 represented with red and my 7/10 represented with blue. I'm going to fill in, going across this way, 1 wholes and 2/10. So I know that means this whole first grid is going to get colored in because that is representing my 1 whole. and 2/10. Going in the perpendicular direction, I'm going to shade in 7/10, remembering to go all the way across to both of my grids. Ta-da! And then I'm going to count which ones have all of them filled in with both colors. Again, going across the top of this one, I know I'm counting by tens, and that's easy. So I know that this gives me, I hope in my heart that you were able to successfully answer that question independently and can give yourself a solid 3 on our learning scale. If you do require more practice, that's what class will be for, and we will do some more practice problems and deepen our knowledge in class tomorrow, where I hope to see every single one of your beautiful faces. Please enjoy your evening.